just got to send out a different link.
Yeah, it's easy if you just go live and then put the link, and there's 15, 20 people waiting, and then they'll just click on it. 18 people, yeah, and then they'll just click on it. It'll take 2 seconds.
All right, so we are officially live now.
Oh, we are? Well, I gotta find your new YouTube live then.
Yeah, let me grab the link here. Copy and
okay.
Paste.
Muted. Perfect.
Send that to everybody. Yeah, let's see here. And I got like double stuff here. I got to figure out where we are. Mute that. Okay, I think I'm good. All right. All right. Are you good? Hi, everybody. Good. Anybody who's in the room already, sorry about that. I am not good at scheduling things and actually making them work. I try. It does not work very well, though. All right. While we get our bearings here. Whoops. I'm under the wrong accounts. Need to see my chat. I got too many YouTube accounts.
Yeah. Working on the chat, saying hey. And yeah, I haven't done a live YouTube in forever.
And you know what? You have never been on my channel before. So let me start off by saying, I mean, like, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Right.
And to anybody here who does not know who this is Carter from, the House Husband Diaries, right? Did I get that right?
That is the House Husband Diaries. Yeah.
All right, cool.
I've been working all day on new material, which will come out in probably about a month.
Really? So what have you been doing?
Not just working hard. Gonna try to up the quality of the videos and have a bunch of stuff, and then we'll see. So
are you anything in particular? Like, I want to know details. Like, give me some details of what you got coming up.
No, I mean, just know I'll give details later on as I get closer to it, but just know right now I've just been working hard. And 2022, like, it was nice to meet everybody and then see where the community is and was, and then there's been a whole bunch of stuff, and so I'm pivoting away from the search stuff. I mean, I'll still be involved, but there's just I think there's other things to kind of talk about and on my channel, and then from a house husband's perspective, you gotta clean house.
Yeah, I will say it's the community that sucked me back in after like the chase was over. The community was awesome, and Vegas was amazing. Like, I don't care what kind of drama came after Vegas. Vegas was so good. It was just
totally.
I mean, I was happy the entire time I was there. I didn't have a single bad moment. And that actually is why we're here today, is because Vegas was so freaking amazing. We want to do an East Coast meetup, don't we?
Yes, that was the talk at Vegas, and unfortunately, Greg couldn't be here. He's got to work at night, and but anyway, we were talking all East Coasters, and I know there's a lot more. JK is closer to us. Apollo. So there were a number.
Apollo's in Georgia. Yeah.
And actually, I think I was talking to Sam, USA China. He's like, Illinois? He's outside of Chicago, and that's way closer to the East Coast than it is to Vegas. So, K-Pro will be in the East Coast in North Carolina from time to time, a fair amount. So, yeah, there are a lot more people on the East Coast than I thought.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, and just lurkers too. I mean, heck, I have like Kevin, who I talk to all the time. He's up in Maine, and he doesn't do a lot in the chat rooms and things like that. But I actually had dinner with somebody after I got back from West Yellowstone, because he was like, okay, what details do you have? So he bought me dinner just to talk about my adventures at 9 Mile Hole with K-Pro, so there are a lot of people here on the East Coast that don't get to go do things. Vegas, World Series of Fun, that was my very first event, so I think having something here on the East Coast, even if it's just something that's small where people can come together, I think it'll be huge because we've had events in West Yellowstone, we've had events in Vegas, we've had events in Santa Fe. So now it's time to have an event somewhere on the East Coast.
I think you nailed it with we'll just start small. We'll set the expectation small. And we'll
very,
just say,
very small.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's all this meeting. Look at there's Sam saying he's in for East Coast. But I think that's like, we started chatting after Vegas. And so I'll fill in a little bit for those watching now and listening. But we're trying to figure out where on the East Coast it makes sense for Yellowstone because of Yellowstone, and then Santa Fe because Fenn, and then Vegas because of K-Pro and Cow, and then poker being a big part of people in the chase. And so we're like, okay, that makes sense. So,
oh no, wait, Carter, I'm going to have to stop you because you also said something else about Vegas.
What did I say? Oh no.
Basically, there's a lot of extracurricular activities in Vegas, like Fremont Street. We'll just say Fremont Street,
Fremont
right?
Street. There's
Fremont
a lot
Street.
of extracurricular activities to get you in trouble,
yes,
or to have a lot of fun. And I think that's something where there's so many different places up and down the East Coast, and so to pick one, we just thought discuss it openly, put it up for a vote. Not everybody's gonna like it, I'm sure, but what interests you from what we talked about?
Definitely. And I do have a couple things that as people are throwing out ideas, you have to keep in mind. So Vegas, as you said, it's not only there's so much to do, poker, K-Pro, Cal live there, but it's also a place where it's cheap for most people to fly in and out of. And you can find some really cheap rooms there. So expense. So for example, it's cheaper to fly in and out of Raleigh than it is to fly in and out of Charlotte because different airports have different fees, So it's expensive to fly in and out of Philadelphia. It's cheap to fly in and out of Baltimore. So it's someplace where it would be more affordable if people did have to fly in and out of would be awesome. Yeah. Wherever we go needs to be close to an airport, Yeah. I love the H. Charles Beale treasure hunts. And we were talking, well, maybe we can do this someplace near a new treasure hunt or a current one that hasn't been found. Like that would be kind of cool. But all of his hunts are in the middle of nowhere, and there's no way to do it too close to where any of his hunts are. So someplace close to an airport. And then let's see here. What other notes do I have on this? And then definitely don't want someplace expensive. Not too far north, not too far south. So I would say Maine is probably out. New Hampshire's probably out. Florida's probably out. So somewhere more towards the middle would probably be the best for most people to be able to make it.
I wonder if the time of year has something to do with, when my wife and I lived in Boston, Portland, Maine was great in the summer, but there's a short window of time where it's a really fun place to be outside and walk around and have good weather. I don't know about flying into Portland, Maine or anything, but I'm just saying the further up we go, the later it just shortens the season that we can get together and have nice weather or potentially nice weather. We can always get hit with storms. I think the East Coast is getting ready to get slammed right now. I know it's not nice weather, but
anyway. It's pouring down raining here right now, actually.
Oh, so is it?
It is.
We're supposed to get it in like 5 hours.
Well, maybe there's more coming. But you bring up an interesting thing, like time. So we need everybody to tell us, when do you want to have this? Obviously this isn't something we can throw together in a month or two. We need to plan a little bit, but there are some searchers who are planning to go to West Yellowstone at the beginning of June. So do we want to avoid that weekend? Maybe it's a weekend we aim for. Do we want to do it during the summer so people can bring their kids? I'm not really a kid fan, but I'm just joking. I love some kids, but is this event, do we want it to be adults only like Vegas kind of pretty much was, or do we want to open it up to families? Like, what do we want this event to look like? Because this is going to be a community event. So the community pretty much gets to tell us what they want.
So I've never been to a Yellowstone meetup or a Santa Fe meetup. Have you?
No, Vegas was my first community event.
That was my first one, other than we had like a little Raleigh, North Carolina meetup with K-Pro, a couple years ago before the treasure was found. So, I mean, do people bring kids to Finbury? A lot of people, just some.
I have no idea. I can't say I've ever seen kids in pictures. So like K-Pro, anybody who's been to the events, did anybody ever bring their kids? For some reason, I feel as if people use the treasure hunt as an excuse to get away from their kids, unless they're searching.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I feel like it's a good excuse to have grown-up time and talk with other crazy-minded people and that are a lot like them. And I don't know, like it's so weird when I try to explain to people about this community, and I try to explain like how we all know each other, and most of us never met in person before. All of the events are a totally different feel. Good questions. Fembury was family. So Fembury was more of a family event. Yeah. Vegas is definitely, we didn't see any darn kids, which is not a bad thing. Shucks. No, sorry.
Vegas isn't really a place built for children.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but we could do something where, during the daytime, we have more of a family friendly event, and then maybe have more adult stuff afterwards. Like we could do something like that.
Yeah, I think it also depends on what city we decide. I mean, if it's Atlantic City, it's kind of like Vegas, and you're like, nah, like kids probably aren't going to want to be in Atlantic City. I've never been to Atlantic City.
Unless it's the summertime, because it is right on the beach.
Okay. Yeah, I've never been to Atlantic City, so I don't really know the vibe of Atlantic City.
I mean, it is right on the water, so it's right on the ocean. I think there's still a boardwalk there. It's cheap. It's cheap to go there, but it's also, I think, like an hour drive from Philadelphia Airport. Maybe like an hour and a half to. I mean, yeah, I'm at least an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from the Newark Airport. So it's not close to any airports.
Oh, it's all the way down South Jersey.
Yeah. So that would be the only thing, is getting people, if people had to fly in, getting them from the airport to Atlantic City.
Yeah, that's the other convenient thing about Vegas, right? It's because you fly in and you're 10 minutes from Bally's or anywhere, 5 minutes to the Southern Strip and whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just a super easy cab ride.
20, 30 minute cab ride and you're there. So, so that's another thing. Like we have to pick some place that's kind of easy for transport. All the things to think of. So like, I'm totally not purposely ignoring the chat, but let's say hi to some people. So we have Bobby Brass. Of course, Bobby Brass is here. We have JK Pioneer. Hey, what's up? My museum buddy. Let's see here. Hi, Jen. Hey, Apollo. I can't wait to see you again, Apollo. Your vibe is just so amazing. Good aura. I loved your smile. You were so much fun to be around. Hey, let's go for a walk. Packer Jack is in the house. And a lot of you have new wrenches, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I gave out a lot of power to people before this live show. USA China is here. Rob G. Hey, Rob G, what's up? King Catcher, Jim King. Hey, how are you doing? Let's see here. Who else is in the house? Wayfarer. Hey, how are you doing tonight? Long way to Tipperary. I never can say to Tipperary. I always say that really funny. I do apologize. Should just start calling you Long Way. You're the long way around. There we go. K-Pro, of course, is here. Yes, and thank you for responding. Mary Green. I love Mary Green. She's one of my favorites. I got to meet you in person one day, Mary Green. Unless I've already met you, and then I apologize. But if you were at Vegas, there was a lot of tequila involved in Vegas. Can I just say, when I met Carter in Vegas, I had no idea who he was because his Facebook profile picture looks nothing like him. You need to change that, by the way. It makes you, I don't know, it does not do you justice.
Because the no hat on, or
I don't know, but it does not look like you.
So
at all.
That was, I told you this. That was like the weekend of my 41st birthday. And so I went and hiked 52 miles in 48 hours on the Appalachian Trail. I had like a section to get done. And then my wife came and met me. She had to work like 2 days. So I had like Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, and then Friday afternoon I was done, and she met me. So, it was like whatever. And so, I don't know, maybe I was just completely gassed from hiking on the trail for, I don't know.
I don't
have no
know.
idea.
I have no idea. Maybe just because you were taller and like the picture in the profile is from up down. I have no idea. But anyway. And again, it could have just been all the tequila. Who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows?
I'm not a morning person. I think that was a morning. Maybe I hadn't had my coffee yet. That's maybe what it was. So what are the potential cities? So we just throw out like a peppering, and then maybe we'll do like I saw Capro put like a poll on the Facebook page or something. We can do it, right in the comments.
Definitely. Or even in the comments on this video, once we post this video, you can definitely put them in there. You can put them in chat now as well. I mean, I would say, like, in my opinion, I feel like Pennsylvania, Jersey should be the most north we consider. And I feel like Georgia should be the most south. Maybe even South Carolina. Like, I feel like that's more mid, and I'm kind of more thinking like potentially even like the Maryland through North Carolina is even more central. So I know Philadelphia can be expensive to get in and out of. And then Center City is a pain in the butt on Sundays because so many things are closed in Center City on Sundays. Center City, Philadelphia. It's like downtown Philly. I actually had my car locked into a parking garage because they closed the parking garage, which on a Sunday, which meant they closed the gates. And if your car was in it, you couldn't get it out. So I kind of have a sour taste in my mouth for Philly, for at least weekend stuff. But let's see here. Oh, Copper Dan, he made it. Hope you had a great flight. So let's see here. I mean, there's Baltimore, there's DC. Trying to think of where all the airports are. Philly does have an airport though. Harrisburg Airport's too small. You have, DC, it's Northern Virginia. You have Richmond. Does Richmond have an airport? Probably. I know I've flown in and out of Norfolk a lot of times, but for most people, it'll be a connecting flight. Cheap flights in and out of Norfolk though. There's a great hotel that's like in Portsmouth, but it's like a 30-minute drive from the airport.
Oh, so one thing, I know I said let's start throwing out city names and options, but one thing I forgot was also we kind of brushed over, talked about it a little, is what anchors this meeting, like this meetup, like poker anchors the Vegas or the stuff of the city, the attractions. Mm-hmm. So you can gamble if you want, all the different casino games, Fremont Street, and then the poker tournament, and then Yellowstone, obviously exploring Yellowstone, searching for the treasure, or just nostalgia now, anchors that. And then Santa Fe, obviously Santa Fe, because that's where Forrest lived, and then there's other stuff to see.
Store,
and it's a beautiful place. So I guess we can finish naming the cities and stuff, but then kind of talk about maybe what would anchor potentially, and then maybe other people know cities better than us, and you throw out one, or maybe we just dismiss one and they're like, oh no, this is really cool. Like Meeps said, I guess it was in Vegas, or maybe on Facebook or something, but Meeps said that Eric Sloan Museum is in Rhode Island.
Ah, okay.
I think, no, is it Rhode Island or no, Connecticut? Maybe it's Connecticut. I don't know if it's easy to get to, but I thought, well, that's interesting. I had no idea that there was an Eric Sloan Museum on the East Coast. I didn't know there was anything Eric Sloan related.
I'm trying to think. I feel like there is an airport in Providence. There has to be someone somewhere in Connecticut, but a lot of people just fly into New York and then take the train up, like to the Connecticut area. So I guess we got to figure out where that is at. That would be pretty cool. I did ask Jenny, Kyle, like about any treasure hunts or so out there. And she's like, well, because we don't know where the solutions are, like where they're hidden. We don't know if there's any on the East Coast. And she's like, if we did, then you probably wouldn't want to go look for it anyway. So we don't know of any. So if you guys know of any treasure hunts, like current ones that have a spot, are there any secrets that are left? Was the one in North Carolina ever found? Wasn't there like a secret stash in North Carolina?
There's one in Charleston and South Carolina. And
I know St. Augustine, was that one ever knocked off the list?
I don't know if that one was or not. Boston was found.
Yeah, Boston was definitely found before the pandemic.
Charleston, they all think that it's in the Battery Park, which is downtown Charleston, the southern tip. And who's Expedition Unknown guy, he went to Charleston, and like you can't dig in that park anymore like they did, so they dug, somebody said, oh, okay, whatever, but some things have changed. I can't remember if a statue was moved or they did some work, and so they don't think that the blazes, right? The blaze, whatever your markings are still in Charleston. I don't think St. Augustine has been found, but maybe other people follow that more.
K-Pro says Secret is still in North Carolina. So North Carolina is like an option for that. I mean, so what? We could, yeah, she said it's still in North Carolina. So there are options. If you can think of like a cool treasure hunt that could potentially be someplace, it might be something to help, give us something to do for those that want to come for more than a night. Want to make like a little trip out of it. I saw a couple things like Appalachia, Knoxville. I forget there's Tennessee. We could go to Memphis. People, we could go to Memphis. Memphis is a fun town.
You could go to Memphis to go to Graceland.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's like a street that has, or Nashville. We could go to Nashville. We could, this community could have some good times with all the alcohol and music that's in Nashville. I mean, not gonna lie.
If we do it in Memphis, everyone has to show up with blue suede shoes, though.
Oh my gosh, no way. That's a total deal breaker. But yeah, I guess because I'm always thinking like East Coast Atlantic states, but I forget, places like Tennessee and Kentucky. I would say like Ohio. Can't think of any place too cool in Ohio.
Yeah, that's where
Sorry, if anybody from Ohio.
That's where it's like you've got Nashville, you've got Memphis. They were saying Knoxville, maybe that would be kind of like Appalachia. There's Asheville, North Carolina, which is like a cool mountain vibe.
Yeah.
But then there's like the only place in South Carolina I would say would be Charleston, but it's pretty pricey in Charleston. And we used to live there too. And it's got a great food scene, but I mean, how often can you just, eat? I mean, you could eat all day, I guess, but
I'd rather drink my calories than eat my calories myself. I gained 4 pounds when I went to Vegas, and I feel like I barely ate anything while I was out there, but lost track of how much tequila I might have drank,
That's impressive. Yeah. Calories after midnight don't count.
I think what happened was my body was just so dehydrated. It was just absorbing any water source it could get. So I think I just swelled up, so it's all that weight's gone now, but it was just funny. I was, I was doing really good.
I try to weigh after a night of drinking the next morning, because then you're all dehydrated. And so you should be like, should lose like pounds.
I chug so much water constantly. So, but I definitely, when I'm drinking, my body holds on to it more. The next day I'm like,
next live show, dieting advice.
Oh God. Lord knows there's like, if you were on my Snapchat, if we're friends on Snapchat and you post what you eat and it's something that is not healthy for you, I will make a comment like, man, that looks like it has a lot of sugar in it. Like I am known for pointing everybody's bad eating habits out, which is what I do.
I don't have Snapchat.
Well, you are a married man. That's probably safer for you.
Yeah, I would say so. So where else? I mean, I'm not a big Atlanta fan, just personally.
I mean, I've been there and I've had a great time. I remember going to Pity Pat's Porch in downtown Atlanta, and we went there for dinner, and 4 hours of our lives escaped. Apparently it's a haunted place. And we sat down, and I was with 3 girlfriends of mine. We were having dinner. We were having drinks. At one point, there was a cook that came out of the kitchen and gave me a foot massage during dinner. And I don't know. I felt like it was Hotel California kind of vibes. I don't know what happened there. But it was an interesting story, and I don't ever forget. But that's all I remember from Atlanta, really. I don't remember doing anything else that was super fun. Dollywood. Is there any airports near Dollywood?
Is Dollywood Knoxville?
I feel like I feel like it might be near Knoxville, maybe. I know I looked into it, but yeah, Atlanta's a good airport, but it's a much bigger city.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Tennessee all closed. For the north is okay too.
Yeah. Then Savannah has a lot of charm, but I don't think there's anything. I don't know. There might be some treasure hunts available. St. Augustine, you could fly into Jacksonville, Florida, and just go down. But I'm guessing that's pretty expensive down anywhere on the Florida coast. I don't know, but
Charleston, West Virginia. I don't know how nice their airport is, though. I feel like there's an airport there, and it's a beautiful little town. On the river, lots of hiking. If you like to do outdoor activities, there's a lot of things to do around that area. Where are trying to think.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh. I live in Maryland and we have the Ravens. Even though I'm not a football fan, I'm just meant to hate Pittsburgh and the Steelers. So when people say Pittsburgh, I'm like, Pittsburgh, what? No.
And then there's just little town. You could do like a Harper's Ferry, kind of like the home of the Appalachian Trail. You could do like just little towns or something.
Harper's Ferry isn't that far away from the DC area. It's, maybe like 45 minutes to an hour, right? So
yeah.
You got Dulles, which is Dulles and Reagan, and even BWI wouldn't be too bad. So give people a lot of airport options. And there's actually, I know of a hotel there. We could probably just overtake it, get like a block of rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they got a bar right at the hotel, which is even better. All right. So that's it. So this next adventure is just gonna be centered around drinking. That's it. And we figured out what's going to ground us.
I was going to say, if we're going around there's Gettysburg in southern Pennsylvania, and then we can have like a north versus south, we can recreate the Battle of Gettysburg.
Gettysburg's awesome, but it is. I guess I'm hoping that we don't have to make people rent cars and drive an hour from airports. I guess that's my hope. Maybe if we can keep it within like 30 minutes.
All right. So and then there's obviously like, Raleigh, but I don't know that there's anything in Raleigh other than Cape Row, and I'm near it.
There's good food downtown. Like there's some cool little places. Yeah. I don't know what else is there though.
Yeah, not as far as like for the community. So I feel like that we kind of hit the highlights, and we might have missed something, but maybe everybody else can put kind of their choices, and we'll just start to see what's getting votes, and then maybe do a little more research and just say, okay, like, planning for the fall-ish, maybe.
I'm cool for September, but then again, I'm cool for any time. I think people just got to tell us when is the best time. Apollo, Virginia Beach would be awesome. Virginia Beach during the summer is expensive, and then there's like different things like bike weeks and stuff. But like there is and this is a thing, like there's a what is it, a Renaissance Hotel Marriott in Portsmouth, and it's gorgeous. It's one of my favorite hotels that there is, but it's in a shady area. Portsmouth is not known to be the best. They have like a halfway house there. So, but they have like a street of restaurants and bars. That would be an awesome place to go. And then if people want to go to the beach, they could always drive, the 20, 30 minutes over, but it's like 30 minutes from, Katie says that there may be a shuttle from airports cheaper than a cab. It just depends on how close the airport is to the hotel. I think that's the big thing. And, it's not like we necessarily want to spend money to rent out like a banquet room or something. So that's another thing. Like there's no money to do this. I mean, maybe we could start collecting money, but I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. I do not want to be responsible. This community is known for all kinds of conspiracy theories. So I do not want to start collecting money from anybody. So where can we go where we don't really have to pay much to all hang out together? That's another big question. I mean, it's one thing if we go to like a restaurant or a bar and meet up, because we might be able to find a room and we just all drink and eat together. But like a hotel,
I feel like Nashville's got a lot going on.
Nashville?
Yeah.
I mean, Nashville's fun. I mean, it really is. I went there for a convention and I mean, I had a blast. There's so much to do in a very small little area too. And I think that's the thing. It's like, if you can get to downtown Nashville, you're set.
Yep. Yeah. And that it's big enough, but it's small enough. Like it has enough to do. It's going to have enough Ubers, it's going to have kind of whatever, and people can split off, kind of like a Fremont Street, do whatever. And then it's, for me, it would be like, what do we have to anchor Nashville? And we can come up with that later, like other than just, the music and drinking scene. Cause I know not everybody's a country fan. But is it really about the music?
Well, no, it's about all of us getting together and having a blast.
There you go.
It is. That's what it's about. I'm not a country music fan, but I mean, but you'll hear people playing rock or, just Southern or blues and all different kind of things there. It's not just about country music. So.
Yeah. And then, I mean, up by your way, Middle Atlantic, I mean, there's a lot to do in the greater DC, Baltimore area, but I don't know where would be small enough. I mean, it gets pretty, I used to live in DC too. I've lived all up and down the East Coast.
Yeah.
And traffic's miserable. And that was 15 years ago or 17 years ago. So I'm sure
they have like the National Harbor has really gotten built up. They have like a big Omni hotel there now. I mean, there's a casino there now. Woo-woo. Is there really? There is. They built, what is it, an MGM?
Oh,
I think it's an MGM. Do not quote me on that. But I think there's an MGM at the National Harbor. There's a lot of stuff at the National Harbor now, but I've never priced out rooms. Like I know what the Omni, that's expensive, but I don't know about how the other hotels are. So it's something we could look at, and it's not far from Reagan. It's still about 45 minutes an hour from BWI, probably 45 minutes from Dulles. But if people needed options for airports, there are, so.
If we're talking casinos and we haven't priced anything out, I know as we were moving out of Boston, coming back to North Carolina, they were building the sister resort to the Wynn, the Encore something in Boston, like right across the water from Logan. So that's just, if you just wanted to be at a casino.
Yeah, I feel like Boston's really expensive though, because I go up to Boston for work a lot, and I mean, I've had to stay in downtown for meetings at the different colleges, and finding a hotel within my price range for work is usually a challenge.
I can tell you that living there was not within my price range.
What's great is when you live in Maryland, in central Maryland, in like a poor little county, and you work for a Boston company,
Oh, you figured it out.
Yeah. No, I'm loving, life is good. Yes.
Yeah.
They better never fire me. So.
All right. So maybe we'll just put like, we'll see what everybody says in the comments. So a city of preference, and then a time, like a weekend, like Labor Day, summer, June, July, August, September. Mm-hmm.
When are you most likely to show up? We'll put it that way. When are you most likely to be able to make it to an event? And
if you know something's cool in the city that you like that we may not know, or just put it kind of like, hey, this city would be cool because of this, and then when you're free, and then we can kind of start to calculate. Yeah. So when, where, and what do you want to do when you get there? When, where, and what to do.
But I just saw Carrie Galloway said Puerto Rico is cheap. Let's have a meetup there. When you guys want to go visit Jack? But you know what's funny is didn't you bring up Iceland at one point? Like that's that.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite.
All right, so we're just gonna throw this out there too. If anybody in the community anywhere is interested in maybe doing a group trip someplace else, like not an event where a whole lot of people, but maybe a group trip to go to Iceland or, to go to Mexico. I love Mexico. I love like the Riviera Maya. If anybody's interested in doing group excursions, I think the community might be open and ready for that,
Ooh, that
so
would be big timing.
Yeah. I mean, I know a couple travel agents. Heck, we probably got some travel agents in this community who could help us get something like that, something like that happen.
I would just go ahead and say, if it's a cruise, I'm out.
I will not do a cruise. I'm not interested in cruises.
Especially during COVID. I am not interested in being locked down.
You know what?
I've done one cruise and that room was way too small to be quarantined for, whatever. Like, I don't know how those cruise ships are still a business at this point.
There's only one cruise I would take, and that would be the Alaskan cruise. I would do that one.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. I mean,
that would be my one exception.
That's different. I feel like that's a different crowd.
Yeah, and I had a friend. She went on some kind of cruise down rivers through Europe, and it was small. It was like a small little boat. And the rooms were actually pretty nice, and they got like the drinking package, and apparently like most of the people in the boat were all old. So like her group before were just the mid 40s, like drunk ones, because everybody else was in bed by 8 and they were partying all night. They had like the boat to themselves every night.
Yep.
No floating Vegas. Come on. Could you imagine if we went on a cruise, how terrible it would be? Because somebody's going to end up getting lost or is going to fall overboard accidentally, of course. But then can you imagine the conspiracy theories we're going to have after that? Oh my goodness. So Iceland's too cold. But Christine, it's cold, but you have like the Northern Lights, you have like the hot springs, they have weird food and good alcohol. Iceland is definitely on my to-do list.
Yeah, it's not too cold. Somebody just said Christine Quincy. I don't know how you say that. It's not too cold. Depends on what you mean by too cold. We went the end of May, 1st of June, and it was cool in the mornings, and then sometimes it was windy, like on top of volcanoes, or when hiking a couple 100 feet up or whatever, it'd be windy. But we definitely changed layers, but it wasn't like freezing. It's not like we weren't in the winter though. But I do want to go in the winter because I want to see the Northern Lights. That's on my bucket list.
Definitely on my to-do list. I love K-Pro's emoji with Mexico with searchers. Yeah, the Riviera Maya, like the all-inclusive resorts, like that is the way to go. And you just go and you have fun, and you can do day excursions off the resort. But it would be great to get a group of us to Mexico. I don't know.
Copper Dan, I will teach you how to swim if you come to somewhere where we swim.
Wait, did Copper Dan say he doesn't know how to swim? What? That's a joke. That's a joke, because I remember he said something about that on Tuesday night show, actually.
I don't know. You're from Minnesota.
Copper Dan, I don't get it, but I remember hearing it when I was watching the replay of your show.
It's frozen. They never have water that's thawed out to swim in Minnesota.
Let's see here. Yeah, Christine's in Wisconsin. She's become my new bestie. We were working on the Calazar K-Pro Grand Adventure, whatever it was called this time, hunt together. I gave up, but she's still trucking along. She's still trying to figure out that last puzzle. That was a hard one. I did not win this time. Man, I'm really behind on chat. My goodness.
Yeah,
how did that happen?
Last time I was in Mexico, I was beheaded by the cartel.
Well, there's not really much cartel stuff on the Yucatan Peninsula, which is where I like to go. It's kind of safe. Yes, you do see guys with like AK-47s and AR-9s and stuff, like standing in front of like jewelry stores, you know, when you go to town, but you don't have to go to town. You can just stay on the resort the whole time. Oh, it's from a National Lampoon Christmas Vacation. I was like, I knew I had heard him say that before just today. Oh, and I would like, can I just quote, I don't remember exactly what he said, but Packer Jack said something at the end of their show on Tuesday, which I loved, you know, like in Monsters Incorporated, like they had like the monsters who wanted to make people scream and then the monsters who wanted to make people laugh. And he's like, I want to be like the monsters and make people laugh. And I was like, that's what I want to be too, you know? So I just thought that was really cute.
I've never seen that.
You never seen Monsters Incorporated?
No.
Do you have kids? You have kids, right? You don't have any kids.
I don't have any kids.
You don't have any kids? Okay, well then that would explain it. But Monsters Inc. is really good. Like a lot of the Disney and like Pixar movies, like you can still watch them.
No, they're good. I mean, I still watch some of them, but yeah, I hadn't seen that one. I might have caught like bits and pieces of it, but I couldn't
like
tell you what it's about.
There's more than one too. There's like all kinds. You got to catch up.
I've watched all of the what are the little yellow things? Despicable Me.
The little minions.
There you go, the Minions. I watched all those movies. They're on TV all the time. And Ice Age is fun. All right, young man. I hope you're not talking about me, Hooli.
Like, who's the baby dog? All right.
Yeah. So
yes. So let us know when, where, and what to do when we get there. What is your preference? Obviously, we're sticking towards airports. We're not going to be in the middle of nowhere. We don't want anybody to have to travel too far or have to get rental cars. Like that's the goal. We want to make it cheap and affordable for everybody. That's the goal. Okay. So anything else, Carter, that you can think of?
I can't. I'm looking at the map, and I know I'm kind of out of. I'm out of options. So if anybody else has any good ones, or you know, any places they've never been that are near that they want to go or something. I mean, I live over here. I've lived all up and down it, so I'm a free agent. But
Christine, his name is Carter. That's his real name. She asked what your real name is.
My real name, my given name.
You know what though? I have to admit, like out of everything we've mentioned, like the city that I'm liking the most thinking about is probably Nashville. I mean, where are you leaning towards right now?
I'd be Nashville just for ease of planning. just like, okay, but there's music, whatever. I mean, I stopped through Nashville a couple of years ago. I haven't been in a while, but I feel like there's a lot to do. And then once you get out of Nashville, it's pretty, there's not a whole lot. So, there's probably hiking, or looks to be a lake not too far away or something. So I feel like there's probably stuff to do.
And don't they have like river gambling for those people who like to gamble?
Oh, I don't know. Do they?
I feel like it's on a river. Do they have like the riverboat? Like
is that Memphis
things?
Because it's on the Mississippi?
No, I mean Nashville's on a river too. Because I remember it was swole when we were there. Like it was high. It was really high.
It was bowed up.
It was that river was all swelled up.
Okay, bro, Connor.
Rudy Green lives in Nashville. I did not know that.
Oh, no way.
He can show us around. He can be our inside man. Yes. Well, Rudy, we're going to make you get involved if we choose Nashville. Sorry, but we're just going to volunteer you for this project. Make sure to plan around major conventions and concerts. Yes. Yeah, definitely some big things happen in Nashville. No gambling in Nashville, the riverboat. Oh, just for dinner parties. Oh, shucks. Not that we need gambling. We do not need gambling for all of our events. I mean, we could always just have somebody can get a suite and we can do the private poker games in the room, though. I mean, that can happen anywhere, right?
So it can happen anywhere. Just don't post it. They're not supposed to happen.
Oh, what happens in the suite stays in the suite, or ends up on my Snapchat or on Facebook.
Ends up all over YouTube. Slop.
I did go live a lot. It was so funny. I'm not going to lie. In Vegas, I was going live. I was doing Snapchats. I was doing Facebook stories, and it was going live on my YouTube channel. And every single morning I'd wake up and the first thing I would do is go to my phone and be like, what the heck did I post last night? Anything bad? Do I have to take anything off? I had a couple people message me like, you need to get this off. You can't have this on. I'm like, I don't have that posted anywhere. Like, it's not me. And they're like, oh, okay, never mind.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there were a couple good moments. So many good moments.
I didn't live that hard in Vegas. That was
no, you didn't. You didn't. You were a good boy.
Had to keep it on the DL. I had fun. I had a good time, but I didn't get too crazy.
You were there with your woman, so
I was.
Yeah.
I was, but first night I got to stay out and let loose and hang out, and then the next night was Penn and Teller, and then the next night we had to fly. So we only had 2 nights there. So
yeah, anyway, I had a lot of nights. It was really good times, and I was single, and I can't say I mingled too much. I mean, I talked to everybody, but I can't say that I went there with that in mind. So I behaved for Shannon. I behaved myself as a single woman. We'll put it that way.
With people other than people that are there for the meetup too. I mean, you can meet strangers. Nothing.
We met those ladies from Waco on Fremont Street, and then they ended up showing up at karaoke Saturday night, which was awesome. I was like, oh my gosh, are you stalking us? She's like, we had no idea you were going to be here. I think they did. I think they tracked us down.
I really wish that I could have spent more time on Fremont and then actually been in town to go to karaoke. That looked like a lot of fun.
Next year, I think Caper's already said we're going to do like the party bus for a lot longer period, because we could have definitely spent another hour on Fremont Street. That was the best. Like, that was one of the best nights. And I remember I got back to the hotel and I didn't feel wasted. And we went up to the suite because we were playing poker up there that night. And then I think you were in the suite that night, right? Yeah.
The
Fremont,
first night.
after Fremont? No. Oh, you were up there Thursday. I knew you were there one night. Yep. I went to the suite and I remember I was like, man, I just feel really tired. I need to go to my room. And then I woke up the next morning and my hair was curly. And I was like, did I take a shower last night? I totally didn't remember it. So maybe either I was sleep deprived or I did drink more than I was ready to. Yes, Copper Dan, single and ready to mingle. Actually, that's not true. Like, I'm already tired of dating. I can't lie. I'm so over dating. I miss having a person. I really miss having a person.
The grass is always greener.
See the tear right there?
Yeah.
I really miss having a person.
Grass always greener unless it's AstroTurf.
But then it's a fake ass bitch, and we don't want none of them around here, do we? No.
Oh, I don't do that. I like them real. But yeah, let's just see what everybody has to say. Like, maybe, like over the next 2 weeks, week 2, something like that. We'll just kind of bat around, send messages on Facebook or here on the comments or whatever, and then we'll just kind of see, and we'll get some ideas rolling, and maybe we'll go live again or something in a couple weeks and do an unveiling.
Sounds like a plan. So yeah, so you can message, like, you can either just leave a comment. Once we're done this, leave it in the comment section of the video. You can also DM me or Carter on Facebook Messenger, or you can also email me at SUTZ, which is SUTZ as in zebra @odiousoul.com. So feel free to use any of those methods to let us know what you want. Ozarks for meth and barbecue. Ozarks is more mid country, so that's a little too far west, but I would definitely say no. Yeah, it's a little too far west. We're going to keep a little bit farther east. Oh, you're going to give me a hug and buy you dinner. Yes, I get to see Copper Dan very soon, don't I, Copper Dan? I'm very excited about that, actually. So he couldn't come to Vegas, and gave him a hard time about why he didn't come to Vegas, but I know he had to work. I know that's the real reason. Capro is asking, are you thinking late spring or summer or fall, Odious? We have no idea. We want the community to tell us when they want it. So the community is going to tell us when they want it. They're going to tell us where they want it, and they're going to tell us what they want to do when we get there. So we want everybody's opinions, everybody's insights, and we'll kind of go from there.
But probably
probably not spring because I can't.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know that we can get it.
That's too soon.
That's like next month in a couple weeks, or like, April's in like 4, 5, 6 weeks. So that's probably a little too soon for everybody to plan. So probably summer or fall.
Definitely.
Whichever makes more sense.
You heard Copper Dan got banned from Vegas. Yeah, right. Copper Dan is such a sweetheart.
Oh, wow. He flew all the way to Philly just to meet you.
I wish that was the truth. No, but I heard he was in Philly and I was like, what? I'm like, that's only like 2.5 hours for me. Like, I'll drive up there to meet you for dinner and get pictures. And of course, we're going to meet up with Jack while we're there. I mean, heck, I'm still waiting on him to email me back. Copper Dan, still waiting on the email back. Jack will not email me back. It's not going to happen, but a girl can still ask and try, right?
I don't know what drama, whatever is going on, but I can always throw my hat in the ring and say, if it's not a K-Pro and Cal sponsored event, would Jack show up, Dan?
No, I doubt it. I mean, I'm sure even though I've kept my word to Jack, I feel like I've given enough information that I still pissed him off, even though I didn't directly reveal what he said. And I told him I wouldn't. I still feel like I gave way too much information to the community. And I mean, I don't know. I doubt he would ever want to meet me, even though he said he'd buy me a drink the next time I was in Philly. He did say that. So I kept my word. All right, Jack, if you're watching, you got to keep your word and buy me a drink. Or just let me buy you a drink. I will buy you all the drinks. I am really fun when I drink. Can I tell you? I am so fun. I am such a good time, Jack. And I know, but trust me, I will make sure you have fun. That's what I do.
All right. And then next time we'll play 2 truths and a lie. Or maybe 2 lies and a truth. Why not?
I don't know. I just like truths. I don't like it when people lie. That's when I get in trouble, is when I call people out for lying. I'm like, liar. I know the truth. That's when I get in trouble. So when I wake up in the morning and I read things on Facebook that I'm like, that's a lie. I don't like lies. But anyway, all right. Well, guys.
You weren't a liar.
No.
We need a soundboard now.
I know. I need to step up my YouTube game, and so much competition. But anyway, Carter, thank you so much for hopping on and being part of this East Coast meetup madness with me. I do appreciate you.
Thanks,
it's
Shannon.
Been a pleasure getting to know you a little bit more, and I can't wait to see how this year plays out. And again,
looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, the chase might be over, but this community will remain because we're just that freaking awesome, right?
Definitely.